Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another special edition on Litter Media Live. I'm Mike Smith, your host, and joining us today from the Chillicothe and Ross County Public Library, Director James Hill, also Courtney Lewis. We saw a story that we shared on our website here earlier this week about a strategic plan for the library looking forward. And that's what we want to talk about on this special edition today, brought to you by Pickaway Ross Career and Technology Center. All that's coming up right after this.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
James Hill and Courtney Lewis back with us talking about the strategic plan survey. It's up on your website. We have it up on our website with a link to that survey. Strategic plan always implies moving forward.
Right. It's been about, I was looking the other day, 2014, I believe, was the last strategic plan that our library did. A lot has changed since then, including a pandemic. The big thing that came out of that last strategic plan was our mission statement, which is connect, belong, explore. So we've, looking at those words and trying to see where the library has been for the last 10 years. And then looking forward, where we're going to be in the next 10 years. Who knows what's going to happen? Hopefully not another pandemic, but if you started a strategic plan in 2020, nothing happened.
Right.
So we're trying to be flexible, but at the same time, just get some input and see where the community thinks we should be.
With the main library on South Paint and then the North Side branch, how many other branch libraries do we have in the county?
There are a total of 8. So in town, there's Main and North Side, also Mount Logan. We have a location inside Mount Logan. And then we have branches throughout the community, the county, including Frankfort, Richmond-Dale, Kingston, South Salem, and Bainbridge.
Mm-hmm. With the advent of the internet, some might ask, well, why do we need libraries anymore when we have all this information there? How would you address that?
I mean, as somebody that's been newer to the library system, I can say you kind of have that thought of when you were in high school, it just was books. Maybe you go there for researching for papers or things like that. But since starting there, I still am constantly amazed at what the library offers and is more thinking along the lines of a community center and what kind of need can we fill in a community, whether it's hotspots or checking out everything from Chromebooks to fun things like disc golf, items along those lines. We have an outreach department that goes and visits different locations in the community that might not be near a branch, as well as just programs, free programs that anyone can attend at every single age that they can attend to. So.
Yeah, that's something, as Courtney alluded to, James, that you can't get on the internet, and that's connecting with people with some of the maybe self-help, I don't want to call it a clinic, but seminars and things like that you have.
Any number of things. So even if you do have Wi-Fi or internet at home, chances are our Wi-Fi or internet is faster because we have, a bigger infrastructure. And to highlight on what Courtney said, free being the optimal word, there's a popular meme that I'm sure people have seen on social media. The library is one of the last places you can go anywhere in the country and not be expected to spend money.
Right, yep. Exactly. So with this strategic plan survey, let's talk about the survey specifically, how they get to it, the audience, and what all is going to be on it.
So the library's website is www.crcpl.org, and then to get to the survey, you can just do /survey, or there's also a banner on the front page of the website. And we also have paper copies you can get at any branch or on the bookmobile. I was talking about branches. I didn't talk about the bookmobile and the book lockers that we have. We have 2 book lockers currently and are adding 2 more next week. So we'll have the ability to serve even more parts of the county that don't currently have library service. So that's the kind of stuff that we want to find out from the survey. Like, where are you? Which library do you use? Which library is closest to you? Sometimes the closest isn't the one you use. But also it just has a number of questions, including things like what interests you? What does your family use the library for? What would you like to see the library offer more of, whether it's story time or tech tutoring. There's a whole number of questions on that. It should take you about 10 minutes to fill it out if you really answered all the questions. And then there's some open comment sections where you can just in your own words tell us what you think. I mean, it's great when people say they use the library, they love the library, but we also want to hear from people who don't use the library or maybe haven't been to the library for a while.
So on the website survey, you just fill out the questions, submit. But if you take a hard copy, can you take it home with you and bring it back?
Absolutely. And that give you more time to think about the questions and answers. And, as long as we can read your handwriting, we'll still be able to count your input.
Yeah.
There's also a part at the end where, we might follow up with you if you want to give your name. This is anonymous, so, feel free to give whatever feedback you would like. And, but there's a place where if you want to be reached out to, the next steps in this would be after the survey, we kind of collect the information, look it over. We are working with the State Library of Ohio with this. They're consulting us to make sure, we're doing everything as planned. With the intention of if you want to follow up in a focus group of any kind to give more feedback and just be more involved. The idea is that, the library is for the community. We want to make sure we're serving what you need. And, we want to hear what you want. And we have an idea of what we think works and what is working, but there might be things that we're missing. So we want to make sure everyone gives their input on that.
Any idea on just a rough guess or percentage on the number of adults using the library as opposed to maybe kids under 18?
Yes, probably. I don't have that number off the top of my head. It does change. We're always making new cards, and we're always purging the records of old cards. The main reason we do that is we don't want just a bunch of empty records on our, but a lot of the databases we pay for are actually based on your registered users. So we don't want to pay for something that if someone's not actually using it. So it changes a lot, but I don't know that number off the top of my head.
We have monthly stats that we check and we provide to people on the impact, whether it's, programs we attend, we track all of that information, how many books are checked out, and new cards. We just in September did National Library Card Sign-Up Month, and I know at that time we had about 400 cards that were signed. And normally it's like in the 200 range, so I think around 100, 200 people we signed up a month, so it was getting close to that.
That's great.
So
is that countywide or just in the city?
It's actually it's countywide, but anyone from outside the county can sign up for a card too. You can get a library card at any county in Ohio if you'd like. Digital things along those lines you can use.
Do you have that scenario? We have so many people that work in town but maybe live in another county. Can they visit your library,
Absolutely.
take a book or resource material?
And anyone in Ohio can get a library card, but also because of our consortium, we're a part of the Southeast Ohio, or Serving Every Ohioan, it used to be Southeast Ohio, Serving Every Ohioan Consortium. So if you already have a library card at one of those other libraries, like Waverly, for example, you can use that card at our system without having to get another card.
Right. So, but does the book, for example, have to be returned?
Nope. Part of the consortium, and even anywhere in Ohio, everyone is part of the same delivery system. So if you request a book that we don't have, but maybe Ashtabula has, they'll send it down. It takes a couple days. You read it, put it in the cargo, and it goes back.
I learned something today. I did not know that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is really cool because we have somebody daily that goes and delivers. We get daily boxes of books that come in from different locations. We get them sending out. We have a little system in the back that takes care of all that. So it's pretty
even
cool.
When you're searching the website, if you're looking for a specific book, you can see what's only in Ross County and available now. But that is also searching the union catalog of all the other consortium libraries. So you're seeing everything at once, not only on the website, but if you use the library's app, also you can really drill down and only look at large print books if that's what you're interested in, or only look at books that you can go to the shelf and pull right now.
Yeah. I know when the online books came to be.
Right.
The death of the library. Well, it seemed like after about a year or two, people started commenting, I enjoy picking up a book and reading it as opposed to that. Are you hearing that as well?
It's a mix, I think. I go through my phases of different ones that I like. There's pros and cons, even audiobooks I'll do, but, sometimes the narrator's voice is funny to me or something. But yeah, there is something about just opening a book and being able to flip through that's pretty nice too.
It's just super convenient. Like, I'm a big radio fan, but I don't always listen to the actual radio. I'm streaming it, or I have the app on my phone, or whatever. Books are the same way. I enjoy a paper book before bed. That's what I read. But if I'm on vacation and I still want to read something, it's going to be on my phone or on some sort of tablet device.
We just came back from the beach last week, and it's remarkable how many people I saw with a book in their hand on the beach reading, whether it was a novel or whatever else.
No glare on the screen.
Exactly. And that is exactly right. With the going back again to the strategic plan, what's the deadline if you want to participate in this survey? far as a date?
It's Friday, January 5th. So we have a few weeks to enter that in. So,
And then once you've gathered all that information, what happens with it then?
So Courtney mentioned the state library is helping us with this. She'll take all that information, and we'll have some other internal meetings for staff and the board of trustees. And also if anyone who indicates on that survey that they want more information, we'll probably do some focus groups and then try to bring all that information back together into one document. So we're hoping to come up with a new mission statement, maybe a new vision statement, some other things that are tangible things that we can act on right away. I mentioned earlier that in the past, it's been 10 years since we've done a long-range plan. That's not uncommon for a long-range plan to be 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Lately, especially in light of things like the pandemic, people want shorter, actionable things now. So we're not going to save the world in 5 years, but we might be able to do this in 5 years. So those kind of realistic goals are what we're looking for.
So the public will get an opportunity to see the results.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
yeah, this is all shared. And, we're doing trainings, like we said, with the Ohio Library Council. They're going to be doing trainings with us, with the staff, as well as with our board, to make sure that staff's giving input as well as the board. So everyone's involved, including the community.
Kind of spreading out in our conversation just a little bit, you mentioned the board. Who's on, you don't have to name all the board, but how do you get on the library board? How's that happen?
So in Ohio, there's several different ways to be a public library. Ross County is a consolidated library system. In 1968, the city, Chillicothe Libraries, and the Ross County District merged and became the Chillicothe and Ross County Library. Because of that merger, half of our board, 3 of our board, are appointed by the the county judges, and the other 4 are appointed by the county commissioners. Okay. Different libraries are different. A school district library, for example, they're appointed by the school board, or a city library, they're appointed by the mayor, things like that. But in Ross County, we have 3 from the judges and 4 from the commissioners. And those names are on our website. If anyone really wants to know who's on the board, you can look at our website.
And those terms are a couple years, 4 years?
7-year term.
7 years.
With one person expiring every year. So that way there's not mass turnover all at once. So it's 1 a year. That way you keep the continuity and the flow.
Something else that comes to mind, I know that in the probate court, when estates are out there, if somebody has failed to designate what they want to happen, does the library usually get some of that funding from the courts?
Not that I'm aware of. We have a couple endowment funds where people have left things to the library or just given us a gift. For example, the Myers Room at Northside was named after a patron, Myers, who wanted to leave money to the library. So we were able to do that. We do have a foundation through the community fund. So if someone wants more information about that, that's on our website. We also have a brochure about that. So you can definitely do that. We would encourage you to do that rather than wait until after the fact and then no one knows what's going on.
Right. So that's something that you would encourage if people, maybe their kids, they didn't have kids, but they've got money that it's going to go somewhere.
Right.
You take those kind of endowments.
All the time.
Absolutely.
Anything else about the strategic plan or the survey you want to touch on before we close?
I think the main thing is just to make sure everyone has a chance to take the survey. Even if you don't have 10 minutes now, take the paper copy. You can work on it a little bit at a time and then enter it yourself into the electronic system, or just give us back the paper one and we'll do that for you.
Courtney?
Yep. The more we can get from the community, the better. We want to make sure we're covering every aspect, every inch of the county. So we really want to make sure that people are giving their input. I mean, it does take a few minutes, and you don't have to answer every single question. So if there's some that feel overwhelming or you might not know the answer to, you don't have to submit every answer. But, as much as you can would be really great. And of course, if you have any questions, you may stop in or give us a call and we'll happily help you with it.
Again, James Hill and Courtney Lewis of the Chillicothe and Ross County Public Library, our guests, talking about their strategic plan survey, which you can find on their website or go to littermedia.com, our recent story that we posted just a couple of days ago. There's a link within that story where you can get to that strategic plan survey. They've been our guests today on a special edition of Litter Media Live, brought to you by Pickaway Ross Career and Technology Center. I'm Mike Smith.